the WGBH News Studios, this is Greater Boston.
Hello and welcome to Greater Boston on TV and streaming online and on mobile. I'm Emily Rooney. We're just about 1 month away from Election Day, and the race for governor took a dramatic turn today. A super PAC backing Republican Charlie Baker released an ad with some pretty damning claims about Democrat Martha Coakley. Take a look.
Martha Coakley knew about mismanagement at DCF. Coakley defended the agency's actions, opposed reform, and tried to silence children's advocates. Martha Coakley failed our most vulnerable citizens. How could we trust her again?
The Coakley campaign quickly called a press conference calling for the ad to be pulled and demanding an apology from Baker.
Republican National Organization is using the abuse of children as a political football. I've never played that game. I won't play it. And I know where Charlie Baker is. He's cheering them on in this debate.
So could the attack ad backfire and end up helping Coakley's campaign? I'm joined now by Jeff Simone. He's the executive director of the Massachusetts Federation of Young Republicans, and Maura Dolan, a political analyst and a member of the Massachusetts Democratic State Committee. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Well, sometimes we criticize candidates for not firing back, for not jumping on the case like John Kerry didn't during the Swift boat veterans thing. And this time, Martha Coakley really came out swinging. Jeff, is this ad defensible, do you think?
It's an intense ad, but it's an intense issue. We have to look at why this ad even exists, because of the scandals under the Patrick administration. So this ad did not come out of thin air. It was, the tone of it is pretty negative and it's pretty harsh, but...
Do you think it's fair?
I think it's factual.
You do? Do you think it's factual?
No, I think it's full of lies. It was Martha Coakley's job as the Attorney General to zealously defend the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in court, and that's what she did. And in fact, what the judge found in that case, when he found against the plaintiffs and in favor
of that lawsuit.
Yes, in favor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, was that the fault lay with the legislature, which had failed to adequately fund DCF. And the suggestion that Martha Coakley doesn't care about children is outrageous.
This is not an issue of funding. This is an issue of executive competence, which is actually plays to Charlie Baker's favor. And one thing should be pointed out, this is a super PAC ad. Charlie Baker would never make an ad like this. I mean, it has to be very clear to
He could condone it, though.
He can condone it, he can disavow it. That's up to him, and I will find out more from what his opinion on that is. But it is factual. I mean, these events happen. These are this is the third or fourth scandal under the Patrick administration, including some.
Well, what's it got to do with Martha Coakley? In fact, a lot of this ad is based around that lawsuit that an advocacy group filed, not only in this state, but in 20 or 30 others. And basically, they were asking for boilerplate reform, which Martha Coakley didn't want to go along with, saying this isn't necessarily good for us. True?
Well, asking for the reform is what the job of the advocates is.
Yeah, but she didn't want to go along with it, which is why she was defending DCF.
Yes, and I think, I mean, if you're talking about the job of Attorney General to defend DCF versus the political ramifications of that defense, those are two separate issues, and it's very factual what the Super PAC did. Now, it may not be that she might not like it and might not like the line of attack, but is entirely fair. Nobody said politics was fair. This is a game for all the marbles.
Politics is supposed to be fair. Charlie Baker is supposed to play fair. He should disavow this ad immediately. This is a real problem for Charlie Baker because these are people, the people who ran this ad, they think that they are friends of Charlie Baker's. And if he doesn't disavow this ad, he leaves the impression that he's a friend of theirs, and that hurts him a lot.
To suggest, though, that someone doesn't care about children, that they're responsible for these horrible deaths, and I mean, the same thing happened to the DCF commissioners, by the way. I went back and did some research. Every single DCF commissioner, until the one right now, has been resigned or forced out into disgrace over somebody beating their child to death, essentially. And so to lay at the feet of any one of our executives, anybody in the legislature, anybody in a constitutional office, that's fair?
It's factual. I mean,
it is?
Well, yeah. I mean,
so it doesn't have to do with anybody beating their child to death?
The attack ad itself?
No, I mean, fleeing the blame of, the deaths of children or horrible situations.
No,
like Blackstone
yes.
defeated Martha Coakley.
And we can go back and forth on the many times that Charlie Baker has been unfairly attacked too. Yes, it is unfair.
We're just talking about this one.
Yeah, we are just talking about this. No one has ever attacked Charlie Baker in the way that Martha Coakley has been attacked in this ad. It's outrageous. And there are a lot of working women out there who know all too well what it's like to do the job that you've been hired to do, which is what she did, and then to be criticized and judged harshly and to be subjected to misinformation about the job that she did. It's outrageous.
You know, Charlie did say something today, Jeff, I'm sure you saw. He said it was the tone of it. And whether you think it's factual or fair is one thing, but the tone of it, even having Martha Coakley snickering and smiling and walking away while they're saying she should be ashamed about, you know, causing all this death and destruction for young children.
Yeah, the tone is negative. I agree with Charlie on that. The tone, it's designed to be an attack ad. You know, super PACs is when we talk about and complain about outside money. These are the reasons people take the outside. Take pledges against outside
How come this
money.
only seems to come from the Republican side, the Republican Governors Association? I haven't seen the equivalent week. We saw it during the last gubernatorial race with the Republican Governors Association taking off on Tim Cahill. I mean, why?
I'm happy to tweet out some videos from the Democratic Governors
In his
Association. Yeah, that attacked Charlie Baker, saying he profited off of the when he was working in the health insurance industry off of sick people. I mean that's you know, these are
equally
equally outrageous.
He tripled his salary and raised premiums.
Yeah, but you know, when we work in the hospital field, that's what's going to happen.
That is exactly what's going to happen. But a lot of people are tired of Martha Coakley being attacked. I mean, when Charlie Baker called a woman reporter sweetheart and put his hand on her shoulder when he did it, by the way, when he did that, Martha Coakley was criticized for how she responded. It's really time to talk about the issues, represent people accurately, and that's what Charlie Baker should be doing.
All right, well, this one could be a game changer.
I'm happy to talk about the issues. I'm sure Charlie is as well.
All right, Jeff, Simone, pleasure to have you here. Maura, Dolan, as always,
Thank
thanks
you.
for joining us.